People say there's nothing like lateness in life. Everybody have their timeline, but you don't just go into nursery school when you're 50. There are certain things, yes, there are certain things you're supposed to put in place at certain stage of your life. When you cross that stage, it's gone.
Is your one and only Outside the Box with Fave. The last time I made a podcast on Spotify, if you listen to me, I spoke on a topic that has been bothering me, and I think it should bother you too. And the topic is about the boys. So from the feedback from all of you, a lot of people reached out to me and said, this topic is nice. Let's elaborate more on it. So today, I'm here with one of the brightest minds in Abuja, in the person of Mr. Gabriel. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm really very excited to have you here, and I'm sure the audience, they are excited to have you here. So this is a topic that I've already been speaking on, which is who is taking care of the boys. This particular topic is about, like, if you look at the society we are in today, there is a lot of focus on the girl child. A lot of empowerment programs are going on. A lot of trainings are going on for the girl child. It's almost like by default, there is a laid down structure for the girl child growing into puberty, being told what and what not to do as a girl. But the same measure is not applied to the boy child. So I want us to talk about this, because it's something that I feel like the rest of the people out there, they are not thinking about. And I know that you're a very bright person. I've listened to you. You're a very, very intellectual person when it comes to personal growth and self-development. So can you give me hints on this, a person that, a man, a male child that was brought up without these structures, that was not told how, as a young girl, I remember back in secondary school, when we were literally very small, we have companies like Always coming to school to talk to us about our menstruation, prepare us for that time. Do you understand? And then outside of that, you have a lot of mentorship from your mother, from your mother's friends who caution you, oh, don't go to a man's house, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. And I don't see this same care being given to the boy child. And I personally think that it has led to a lot of people picking up, a lot of men specifically, picking up characters from the streets. The things that shape them is the things they probably see in movies, see in from people they just know. A lot of men shape their characters from the streets. So I'm just putting this question out there. I know that you know, you're a man. That's the most important thing. A person who grew up without these structures in place, how does the person navigate life without having to pick up characters from the streets or shape yourself just by existing? You should understand it.
So first of all, thank you once again for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So this conversation coming from a woman, sorry to say, is very interesting, because we men are supposed to be the ones shouting and say, we need help too. We need help as boys, but coming from a woman, it shows that you are very deep in your thinking and you pay attention to a lot of things going on. So thank you, and thank you to every woman out there, represented here. So yes, I think men have always learned this way, right? Growing up and learning from seeing people do things, watching people do things, right? Some people would argue and say, no, boys have dads, so they learn from their dad, but very few dads actually take their son by the hand and say, sit here, I want you to learn what I am doing. It's not necessarily my career or what I'm doing, but I want you to learn what it takes to be a man, right? Very few dads do that, because they are busy trying to put food on the table, they are busy running the business, busy with providing, right? So they do not necessarily have that time. So boys or men, boys who grow up to become men, right, have always learned by watching, observing personal development, which is why I'm very, very strong on personal development, right? I personally, what you're saying is my life experience, because I am in a very, I can't remember the last time I have not heard my mother ever say, "Where are you coming from?" That sounds strange to me. So from very early age of 12, 13, 14, I was left to just learn from things around me. You know, if you like, go there and pick bad character from the street. If you like, become something, figure it yourself. That's you. So, and outside the family, even if I didn't have a dad to hold me by then, but outside the home, we don't have structures. We don't have boys structures really looking out for the boys, which is where your conversation is coming from. But I'm happy that you're raising these conversations, because it will begin to inspire those kinds of organizations, those kind of NGOs, those kind of clubs in schools, in nursery, primary, secondary schools, that pay attention to turning boys into men.
It's something that, like, I've seen it play out. You get, I'm a girl, and if, like, now currently as I'm having this conversation, if I have issues bugging me, I call my friends, I call my family, and they're easy to pick up, like, it's our dad, it's our girl, she's in need. But then it sends a message to me when I also see men of my age, and the person they call is me as a girl. And I'm wondering, is it that can't you call your dad? Can't you call your folks? And I feel like this particular thing that we are talking about right here has laid bad foundation for a lot of people, because in as much as we are talking about learning from outside, what if you're not opportune to be surrounded by good people? What if your way of survival is meeting people that smoke, like have deviance in different levels? For me, as a girl, I do get issues, like I have personal issues, and people just come through for me. But then it keeps me wondering who comes through for the boys, because some of my male friends, some of them actually depend on me to come through for them. So I don't know how this has affected men, the way they've grown. Are they lonely? So I would want you to tell me from your own experience as a man, how these things has affected you, like this type of upbringing where men are supposed to just figure it out themselves, how it has affected you as a person.
So a scenario where your car is spoiled on the road, and you are alone trying to push the car. That momentum is very, very hard for you to start. When the car begins to pull, that's if you're even able to push it
in the first
to start
place.
moving. If you're able to push it, that first momentum, getting that momentum for that car to pick up is very difficult. But if you have 2 people, 3 people who are trying to push it with you, it gives you leverage. You're leveraging on them. So if I have someone or systems or structure that help me, take me through and say, okay, this is what to do as a man at this stage of your life, this is what you ought to be doing. I am literally looking for information now for myself, which is why I'm very big on personal development. What am I supposed to be doing at this age of my life, at this stage of my life, that will not jeopardize? What am I doing, or what am I supposed to be doing now that will make tomorrow better? That will make the next year better? Am I late in life? Am I too early? People say there's nothing like lateness in life. Everybody have their timeline, but you don't just go into nursery school when you're 50. There are certain things, there are certain things you're supposed to put in place at certain stage of your life. When you cross that stage, it's gone. So boys need that structure. It will affect you. It cannot be underestimated. However, especially in this part of the world, Africa, Nigeria, we men have just found a way to keep pulling through, not letting those things, but it is affecting how fast you grow in life, because you're going alone, you're trying to figure things out by yourself. But if you have the structure in place,
makes it easy. Right. So you would agree with me that investing more in early mentorship for boys would go a long way in shaping them to become men, because from my understanding, I feel like most dysfunctional men, it sprouts from childhood. It sprouts from the early stages of life where they don't have directions. They just start existing and figuring things out, and they figure it out the wrong way. Do you understand? So I think what you're trying to say is like investing more in early mentorship for
Starting from fatherhood. We were having a casual office discussion a couple of days ago, and I said, my child, my boy, at certain age, whether at 7, at 10, I don't know, but at certain age, I'll cut responsibility of the home for you. You will handle. You will come to me for the money, right? I don't know if I'm going to give it to him for free, or I'm going to ask him to do something so he understands the idea of this exchange of value. But I would want him to start understanding that adulthood is responsibility. He's a child, though, but you need to know you're a man. And early enough, right? Some of us, I was speaking with a friend a few days ago, and he said, it feels different when you now know that nobody's coming for you. Nobody's coming for you, for your help. You know, I don't want that guy who is my son to realize it when he's 20 that, look, responsibility is coming for you as a man. He should begin to handle things from early age, and business mentorship should begin from me. I should be able to tell him how I am, handling my things, how I'm handling my business, how I'm shouldering responsibility, and even the things I have not been able to do. I have to point him in the directions. Okay, these are the kind of books you read. This is the kind of mentorship. These are people you should reach out to. You should build network with, build relationship with. It should start from an early age. So you're right. Early mentorship, internship cannot be overemphasized.
So you guys, I don't want to drag this on and on. You've listened to us. You already know what we're talking about. And as a person, as a woman, today we're talking about men, but as a woman out there, you also have a responsibility to the male child, because the male child doesn't just come. We are the mothers of them. And if you as a mother do not even understand how to take care of your son, it's going to be hard for the society to even know how to do it for you. So today I'm going to just round this up by saying thank you to Mr. Gabriel for your wisdom and for taking our time to join us here today.
But there's something I'd like to mention just before we go, right?
Okay.
I would like to tell every male child out there, every boy out there, just like my friend said a few days ago, nobody is coming to help you. Don't feel entitled to anybody's help. You deserve it, because there are certain things you need to do in life and you need people to guide you. However, don't be entitled to it. Get up and look for information, find information, figure out things, right? Develop yourself. Personally, I got to a point, I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this early enough, but at SS2, was it SS3? I remember I wanted to write WAEC. I called my uncle and I said the WAEC fee was about 30,000 naira, something, 40 something thereabout, and he said, honestly, I only have 10,000 naira. I tried to find, I couldn't get. That's how I didn't write WAEC that year. So you have things that kind of deprive you, but I looked for information. I have to take courses on my own. I have to get books and read. So you need to go in search for information and not wait for the society to begin to recognize your place. But this is a very important conversation that you should have more episodes on. You should bring more people to talk about it. People will have different perspectives to it. And I'm sure it will ignite something good.
So you guys, you've heard from me as a girl. You've also heard from the perspective of a man. And not just a man, somebody that is wise. So I know you can make do what you want with this information and these conversations that we're having today. Thank you for listening to us today. Thank you for taking out your time. Thank you for all the informations and all the likes and the feedbacks. I'm glad to have done this and I hope to continue doing it. Just follow us, like, subscribe, help us in any way that you can to make this go viral. It's your girl Fave, and this is Outside the Box with Fave. See you next time.